I was 19 years old when my then boyfriend and I went to meet an astrologer. Life was full of so many possibilities and choices, and we were eager to find out if we were headed in the right direction. I remember he looked at our horoscopes carefully, smiled and said, "ये तो राम सीता की जोड़ी है." Translated, it means that we were matched like Ram and Sita. At the time, I thought this was a good thing.
आज की परिवेश और आज की संस्कृति सभ्यता देखकर काफ़ी तज्जुब होता है। ठीक है, पहले भारतीय नारी कैसी होती थी और आज की नारियों की तरफ मैं अपने ध्यान ले जाता हूँ तो काफ़ी उसमें भिन्नता नज़र आती है। हाँ। बड़ी असंतोष होती है। हाँ। लेकिन ये तो मेरा व्यक्तिगत ख्याल हुआ।
मैं तो अपने बारे में जान सकती हूँ ना कि भारतीय नारी में बहुत हिम्मत है और मेरे को देखो ना, मैं भी इतनी मेहनत करती हूँ।
पढ़ाई का मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप फिल्मी नायिका का ही अनुकरण करें। पढ़ाई का मतलब ये है कि आप सती सावित्री का भी अनुकरण कर सकती हैं, सीता का भी अनुकरण कर सकती है। तो ये सब देखने को मुझे नहीं मिलता है।
दूसरे आदमी के पास जाके भी वो बिल्कुल पवित्र थी ना, वो तो मिसाल है ही वो। भारतीय नारी जो है मतलब कि ये है, उनके बहुत ही ममता उनके अंदर ज़्यादा रहती है, पति के प्रति भी ज़्यादा वफादार रहती है, बच्चों के साथ भी ज़्यादा स्नेह की भावना उनके अंदर रहती है, दयालु होती है ज़्यादा।
Sita, a goddess born of the earth. Her life is a stereotype that pervades the Indian psyche. Her image is sometimes an aspirational goal. At other times, it's the very antithesis of what women are supposed to be. Loved, revered and shunned, Sita's story finds echoes in the lives of many Indian women.
Because we are a very family-oriented country, and it is Sita who functions within domestic space, yet she is also functioning within kingly space and royal space. But much of the Ramayana is looking at the contrast between domestic space and royal space. That's where the tension is.
Sita became Ram's wife when he became the only man who was able to lift and break a celestial bow. According to the popular version of the Ramayana, Sita was just a silent bystander in a contest set up by her father. This was then the beginning of her acceding her own identity.
माँ बाप बोलते शादी करना है, ये करना है, लेकिन शादी तो कर देते हैं उन लोग, लेकिन उसका ससुराल में क्या है कैसा ये बिल्कुल नहीं सोचते। उसको बाद में क्या होगा, प्रॉब्लम्स क्या आएगा, ये भी नहीं सोचते हैं।
जो हमारा एक पुरुष प्रधान समाज है वो हमेशा से आज की, चाहे हम आज की बात लेते हैं, चाहे हमारे सदियों पुराने, चाहे वो रामायण या महाभारत का है टाइम, उस टाइम से हम लोग ये देखते आ रहे हैं कि औरत को एक वस्तु समझा जाता है, उसको एक इंसान नहीं समझा जाता है। जिस तरह से हम सीता को कहने को तो ये कहा जाता है कि सीता एक बहुत ही कमज़ोर नारी थी, लेकिन हम ये कहते हैं कि शायद उनके बराबर शक्ति भी किसी में नहीं थी।
मेरा नाम रानी है।
कहाँ रहती हैं आप?
मैं मदनगिरी में रहती हूँ।
तो आपसे पूछना था, जो आपके साथ घटनाएं घटी हैं, स्थिति कब शुरू हुआ, ये आपकी शादी कब हुई?
मेरी शादी को 8 साल हो गए, 98 में हुई थी। मेरी शादी के 1 साल तक तो ठीक सब चलता रहा, उसके बाद से मुझे परेशान किया दहेज के लिए, क्योंकि मेरे पेरेंट्स इतने नहीं दे सकते थे।
मेरा नाम शबनम है।
तो शबनम, ये कौन से एरिया में रहती है तुम?
जी फर्स्ट में।
अच्छा, तुम्हारे ससुराल वाले कहाँ हैं?
बीर बाजार में।
क्या हुआ था, कितने साल की थी जब तेरी शादी हुई?
18 साल की थी जब मेरी शादी हुई, सन 2000 में।
क्या हुआ उसके बाद?
उसके बाद मैं गई यहाँ से, शादी होने के बाद में कुछ महीने तक 2-3 महीने में सही ठीक ठाक रखा उन लोगों ने, तो मैं सही रही। उसके बाद फिर उन्होंने मारपीट चालू कर दी।
Sita married Ram, but soon after, the couple and Ram's brother Lakshman are sent away to exile. During their years in exile, Sita is abducted by Ravan. Ram then fought a war and killed Ravan. But when it is time for Sita to return as queen, she is asked to prove her innocence by going through a trial by fire, the Agni Pariksha.
I think the basic thing about burning in our country is that fire is ingrained in the Indian mind. And from our Vedas, when we do Havans, from Ramayana where Sita had to give an Agni Pariksha, from our Diwali festival, and that we have a fire god, which I think there is no fire god in any other religion. So fire is ingrained in the Indian mind, and with the domestic appliances that were being used are still being used, like kerosene stoves. Kerosene is easily available in all the houses, so it is very easy for somebody to commit suicide or homicide using kerosene oil and to light it, because it's the easiest material which is available and easiest way somebody can be dispensed off with.
बहुत मारपीट करी, मुझे जहर पिला दिया, मुझे फांसी भी लगा दी।
But even the trial by fire was not good enough. A washerman from the kingdom brought Sita's character into question.
वो लोग मेरा पीछा करते हैं, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है। मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि मेरे से बिल्कुल अलग रहें। आप हमेशा गाड़ी में जाते हो, थोड़ा पैदल भी सैर करिए।
जब वो महिला अपने लिए खर्चा मांगती है, अपने अधिकार की बात करती है, उस टाइम पे उसका पहला मुद्दा यही होता है कि भाई ये कैरेक्टरलेस है, इसका कोई चरित्र नहीं है और ये चरित्र की गिरी हुई है, क्योंकि वो अपनी कमी को छुपाने के लिए उसके ऊपर कोई ना कोई इल्ज़ाम तो लगाएगा।
इल्ज़ाम लगाया गया कि बोलने लगे अपने भाई से, जैसे कि अभी ये हमारे भैया हैं, कभी इनसे कभी किसी और से, हमारे सगे भाई पे भी इल्ज़ाम लगाया गया। मिठाई का डब्बा ले गया, बहन के यहाँ जाएगा तो मिठाई तो लेके जाएगा, खाली हाथ तो जाएगा नहीं, बड़ा भाई है मुझसे। मिठाई लेके गया तो इल्ज़ाम लगा दिया कि गंदे कर्म है इसके, जब तो ऐसे ऐसे मिठाई लाता और इसी के हाथ में देता है, ये है वो है, जबकि सास के हाथ में मिठाई दी थी, फिर भी उन्होंने इल्ज़ाम रख दिया। छोड़ने का तरीका है उनका।
इल्ज़ाम ये हुआ कि मेरी शादी के बाद से मुझे पियर तो आने जाने देते नहीं थे, और एक राखी और भैया दूज पे मेरे को भेजते भी थे तो मेरे हस्बैंड साथ नहीं आते थे। मुझे देवर आता था छोड़ने, वो गली के बाहर छोड़ के चला जाता था और इधर से मेरे भाई छोड़ने जाते थे। जब मैं अपने यहाँ आ गई थी पियर में, यहाँ रह रही थी, फिर हम यहाँ से पंचायत वगैरह हुई तो उसमें उस टाइम उन्होंने मेरे ऊपर इल्ज़ाम लगाया था कि ये अपने पति को नहीं चाहती थी, देवर को चाहती थी, इसलिए अपने पियर कभी भी जाती थी तो देवर को साथ लेके जाती थी, हस्बैंड को साथ नहीं देती।
जिन्होंने घर नहीं बसाना होता है उनको तकरीबन ये होता है शादी के बाद से ही ये चीज़ें शुरू हो जाती हैं, क्योंकि जहाँ थोड़ी सी महिला जागरूक हो जाती है उस टाइम पे तो उसको घर में रहने ही नहीं दिया जाता है। उस टाइम पे तो उसको सीधा बाहर का रास्ता दिखाया जाता है कि भाई ठीक है, ये मकान ये घर सिर्फ मेरा है। वैसे बोला जाता है कि गृह लक्ष्मी है,
फिर मेरे पापा गुजर गए तो मुझे लेके आए थे, तब उस टाइम मेरी दवाई चल रही थी पर लास्ट उसमें थी, इलाज पूरा होने में 1 महीना बाकी था। तब मुझे लेके आए तो जिस दिन मेरे पापा का अंतिम संस्कार हुआ उसी दिन मुझे लेके जा रहे थे। तो हमारे पियर में ये है कि लड़की को कम से कम 3 दिन तो रुकना है। तो मेरे घर वालों ने मुझे रोका तो वो कह रहे नहीं हमें अभी लेके जाएंगे। लड़ाई झगड़ा काफ़ी हुआ, फिर वो मुझे ज़बरदस्ती छोड़ के चले।
It was strange to find that my deep acquaintance with feminism did not prepare me for real life. In the battle between years of societal training and my personal knowledge of what was really possible, my socialization was winning out. This was until I was able to paint another picture of feminism, a model more real and practical, a type of thinking process that resulted in a redefinition of the way one views life.
And perhaps this is also important for us to know that you can't constantly tell the woman to accede each time to your request. That there comes a time when she is going to assert herself when the request is unreasonable beyond all means.
इतनी हिम्मत रखती हूँ कि हाँ मैं कमा सकती हूँ और मैं पाल सकती हूँ अपने बच्चे को।
तो बुलाएगा भी तो जाएगी?
नहीं, अब नहीं। वो जब भी सुख से नहीं रखा तो अब क्या जाऊँगी इसके पास, क्या करने जाऊँगी? अब मन हट गया।
And the common thing with all three of them is that they had been character assassinated, meaning all their husbands first, before beating them and all, said basically that, you know, you're not good charactered.
Okay.
Then they started beating them and treating them badly. And so, being boxed into a corner by circumstances, so many women are forced into seeking a place of their own. And the labyrinth eventually leads them to freedom. The freedom of being their own person and to live a life free of being examined and accused. Like Sita, they choose to stand alone and seek their own identity. Sita, daughter of the earth, was she just a puppet on the strings pulled by the men in her life? Did she accept all indignities committed against her silently and without protest? Could she have been the stereotype that she has been made out to be? Could she have existed without any hunger, desire and wanting? Has the most popular version of Ramayana made Sita a cardboard character and peeled her identity of its authenticity?
The cardboard Sita is convenient. It's a kind of metaphoric shorthand. It is perpetuated by the popular media more than anything else. This cardboard Sita is therefore something which, like so many other tools of control in our society, yet one more device for perpetuating a myth which is convenient for a large number of people in our country.
I don't think the original Valmiki Ramayana is something of this type of Sita, because there are many other things in original Valmiki Ramayana where many other characters do not fit into the same pattern as they have been projected or narrated in Ramcharitmanas, written and propagated by Tulsidas.
Cardboardization of Sita began at the time when a patriarchal society took her and adopted her as a motive of the dutiful wife, or as the emblem of what must be done to win the approval of a monogamous husband. I mean, she is clearly quite different from Ganga, who her first condition was that her husband should ask her no questions.
Sita, speak. You who could lift the divine bow in play with one hand, who could command the earth with a word. How did they silence you?
As the several myths also endorse, she is a person of enormous capability and enormous outreach, and that is a reason for the popularity of that image. She speaks to everyone. So I would say there is no one real Sita, there are many Sitas.
I like the fact that I can write my Ramayana in any which way I like, and that maybe one day Madhu Ramayana will be more popular than Tulsi Ramayana.
There is a popular image, I would say, of Indian womanhood, and very often, since Sita and Savitri are referred to, people fix it on Sita. That's what I believe, because there are so many Sitas.
Sita, the word itself means furrow of the earth. The first mention of her name is found in a story of the Rig Veda. Here, she is the furrow of the earth and is abducted by the demon Vritra. Indra, the lord of the skies, the master of rain and thunder, must seek her out. Rain must have the earth. Sita waits patiently because she knows that it is inevitable. Indra will find her, just as the cloud must rain and fall on the earth, and the sky must meet the earth. It is from this myth of nature and creation that Valmiki evolved the epic Ramayana.
There are two little episodes we should be concerned about. One, that Sita as a baby or as a young girl is supposed to have been just wandering around the house of her father, and with her left hand she pushes that bow across. And that's when the father realized that this is a girl of incredible strength and some kind of a divine gift. That is the beginning of that story of why he sets up that challenge for the man who is going to marry Sita.
Sita, speak. Sita, speak your side of the story. We know the other too well. Your father married you to a prince, told you, be pliable as a bow in your husband's hand. Didn't you note? Ram broke the magic bow. They say you, ideal daughter, bowed your head in obedience as you were sent away. The Ramayana is something we all know. Every home, people know the basic story. Yet if you read it from the perspective of women, which is what I did, then I found that all the men in her life somehow did not spoke on her behalf and also didn't stand up for her. So if you start with the father, that's the way the poem moves, that you start with the father and then her husband, the brother-in-law, the sons, and then the poets who write a story. In all these cases you find that the men go along with some form of injustice rather than supporting her. New leaves on the Ashok, translucent, filtering the morning light as do the blue veins of an infant's wrist. Innocence, pristine freshness of spring leaves everywhere. Yes, also in that grove where Sita, nature's source, thought herself a prisoner. Also in that Ashok Vatika. Sita, our legacy, why did you need to prove your innocence? Did the flames cool on touch, as they say? For your sisters, the fires come ablaze. Before the fullness of their summers they perish. Innocent, Can they prove it? Can you prove them so?
One of the other most important episodes in Sita's life was her abduction. Ravan, a king renowned for his wisdom and known as Fair King, met his nemesis when he abducted Sita. Sita, on her part, was taken by force and kept confined, but she had no way of proving her innocence. Sita's return from Ravan's kingdom and the subsequent Agni Pariksha to prove her innocence is an episode that has never been fully justified or accepted.
Ramanand Sagar had admitted in various interviews that as the TV serial was going on, he was flooded with thousands of letters from the audience saying, you dare not show Sita Ma being burnt and being condemned to suffer indignities. You don't do that. You better not do that. And he says he had to change the script.
If Sita is the furrow and Ram rain, then Ramayana is as much a story of love and longing and separation as it is a story about dharma. Sita, described as a beautiful, sensual woman, had the desires all women have. Her anger and rejection of Ram ultimately was her expression of a deep disappointment. And so she opts to live in nature rather than be a queen.
Her strength also lay in her easy rejection of the comfort of court life and her spontaneously, her very sahaj acceptance of the wandering life. This had both to do with her being a nature goddess born of the earth, and therefore the forest was easy for her, but it's also because she was a strong person, and therefore when she was abandoned, when she goes back to the forest again, she's not fazed, she's not afraid. She can handle so much more than we really, in our middle class patriarchal Western speaking perceptions of Sita, did not recognize or even at any sort of level configure.
We see that it is a supreme assertion of her individual expression, but by now she knows that her sons have been in some terms reintegrated into society. She has not abandoned her role as a mother. It is not a surrender to patriarchy. She is challenging some premises of patriarchy which expects the woman to give up everything. So it is that rare combination that we find in Sita which can serve as a kind of a prototype for the kind of feminism which has succeeded in India and which may continue to succeed provided we analyze and understand it in certain terms.
Somewhere the patriarchy in our religion has sought to sort of subjugate or sought to do whatever they want to do with women in general and project this figure, this character called Sita. Whatever we know, we learn from various so-called scriptures about Sita's life, the way she was subjected to a lot of humiliation, the way she was treated like subservient to Rama. And all of these stories do not really inspire enough confidence among the younger girls, women, to follow her as a role model.
No, never. She shouldn't be. But as a person, I would say image of Sita has been fantastic.
The Ramayana in the end, the way that she had to, go onto the fire, I think that was inappropriate. Somehow I felt we don't need to do that. We don't need to prove ourselves to all these men nowadays.
Of all those Sati, Savitri and all those kinds alive. Just I don't believe it should be. It's like, what? You're sacrificing for your husband, and therefore you are, Mahan something.
Sita is the ideal Indian woman. You can follow the sacrifice, you can follow the honesty.
Sita is too idealistic a stereotype for a woman to follow. Too idealistic. It
And
was
in
not
today's
required.
world- in today's world, you cannot live like Sita.
Yes.
You'd be a fool, you'd be conned if you were Sita today.
And she had 2 kids. What was the point in getting buried in the earth? And leaving your children? I mean, come on.
She should have taken her kids and go away.
Go
I
away.
want
Wrong.
the kids
She
too.
should have moved on.
He left her when she was pregnant. So she shouldn't have, given the kids to them also. Why? Why? He didn't do anything.
9 months of labor pain and then you give birth to your own flesh and blood and then you just leave them and you get into the earth. I mean, this is just...
And living with the kids with the father who has now, who never even knew about the existence.
Should be, you can say that acts of Sita's people should follow.
Come on. Your kids. She gave a whole bad example to every woman.
Actually, Sita is the ideal woman. Okay, now every woman should follow Sita's.
We'll fight for the power that you've lost. Why did she go? If her husband was going on the wrong path, she would have corrected him. What was the thing that you'll always follow your husband and not correct him wherever he's going wrong? So
even if your husband is wrong, that's like you have to follow your husband.
Yes,
that's what
assertiveness is
she's showing it.
She showed a wrong path.
To all the women in the
She
world.
gave an idol. And when kings used to marry twice, thrice, how can you trust your kids with somebody else?
Husband taking the Agni Pariksha, but poor kids, yeah, उन्होंने क्या किया है?
What is their fault? Exactly, what is their
I
fault?
really like the thing that she never went back, but why did she go buried herself there? She should have taken